Hi, this is a video for cousins, people who are cousins, Kenny Hirschl and Isla Woodward. This is Maida Data, and you can call me Oma, which means grandma, Oma G, adorable grandma, or Great Aunt Maida. Anything you want is fine. I'm open. Kenny and Isla, you share a common heritage with the Hirschls. And I thought I would talk a little bit about classical music with you because I don't think it's that popular among the youth. And also because you have relatives that were really into classical music, and I thought you might want to know about it, or it might be interesting. So I've sent you both the books about Bach, where you can just press a button and hear some of the really super famous Bach stuff. And that was, I think of that as kind of the origin of classical, although there are people that know a lot more than I would probably argue, but I think of Bach as kind of beginning of really great stuff. He didn't even have piano, he had some kind of a harpsichord. So anyway, Bach, and then Beethoven, my personal dream boy, and then Mozart and the rest, and Chopin and lots of others. But I thought I'd start with Bach, and then we go to Beethoven, then we talk Mozart, and then others. So today it's Bach, and so you've got that little book, and maybe those little tunes are familiar with you, and I thought it might be interesting to say why I think classical is so amazing and what your connection is to the Hirschl clan and classical. Okay, number one, you know, you all come from the Solomon Hirschl Oma Benheim. Oma, it means mother, but she was Augusta was her real name. Solomon and Augusta Hirschl. Actually, Augusta Benheim married Solomon Hirschl. And the story is that my father, Harry Hirschl, your great-grandfather, told many times, at least to me, and because I shared his love of classical music anyway, he would say, you know, in the German households, and by the time Augusta got married, she was living in Darmstadt, Germany. She met Solomon, they got married, and they moved to St. Louis for a business, corncob pipes. Not so common now, but people used to smoke them. With tobacco in them, by the way, FYI. But anyway, as far as I know, well, maybe other things. Another point, Augusta, in that German households, music was such a big part of their lives. And there wasn't like way before the internet, way before TV or radio, like there was no like mass entertainment at all. Maybe towns would have their own, like they say in Germany, every town has their own opera company. And they say, you know, like that. But in a family, when someone was born in the Hirschl family, at birth, they would assign an instrument, which I think is fascinating. So, for instance, when Bella Hirschl was born, she was assigned the piano. They said, oh, good, Bella's born. We'll have a pianist. Like, at birth, they say that. I think that's sort of funny. So that's your history, that there was, and they would get together and they would play music at night. There wasn't, as I say, maybe you would read books for sure, but there wasn't a dial. There wasn't a computer. You made your entertainment. And in the Hirschl household, anyway, from which you come, it was music. And a lot of it was, of course, classical. Not only, they did a lot of, I remember there was some Scott Joplin, which is another kind of music. But anyway, so that was one thing, is that you come from this history of like really deeply rooted classicists and musicians. And then, maybe you don't even know this, but you have a cousin. So Solomon Hirschl and Augusta had children, and they had children. Anyway, down the line, you have a cousin who is currently a cellist for the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and he's an amazing player, Richard. His sister Anne plays violin, often for the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. So, you know, it's still alive, at least at my generation level. So why do you think it is that classical has lasted so long, so many hundreds of years? And my suggestion to you to consider is that it allows for the expansion of human spirit, not constrained by words, right? Because most songs, you know, we all know, pop, whatever, you sing songs, you have words. Country, my husband Bob loves the old country world. They have all these kind of words. Maybe they're hokey words, huh? Anyway, but classical is this way to explore the world through emotion and passion and depression, and all of these things can be expressed without words, but with this really complicated musical sounds. And for me, for instance, when I'm running a long distance, sometimes I'll just listen to Beethoven's Ninth Symphony the whole time. Because why? Because Beethoven's Ninth Symphony is like, will take you every place you've ever wanted to go, kind of. Anyway, that's my idea about a classical and Bach. Starting at the beginning, that's the history. I'll say more about family stories as we go on. At least I hope there's interest in it. Okay, That's what I got. Happy New Year 2025. May it be beautiful and full of joyful family time.